Good afternoon.
Good day.
Refresh your browsers, y'all, because today is Thursday, March 15th, 2012, and you're listening to Room 3026 live.
Live.
This is episode 300. I apologize. 400.
Great day, no more.
And 87. A 60-minute conversation ranging from technology to pop culture, and I am your host, Damon Nolan, and we are broadcasting live right here in Durham, North Carolina. It is lunch hour in the Onyx Tower.
Surely is.
Today, my co-hosts are Mr. Derek Brinson,
The world's funkiest man. Stay funky, my friend.
and Mr. Michael Render.
I do it.
And as always, we encourage listener participation. That means that you can join the conversation. All you got to do is call us via the telephone at 646-929-2689. Again, that's 646-929-2689. Or you can chat with us right now over at blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. Want to give a special thanks to our Darren Tyler, also known as Boy Wonder,
Indeed he is.
for the theme song, which you are now listening to. It is called Without You.
You know, Boy Wonder just, he brought a guitar.
Oh, I saw that.
I didn't see it. He was just,
Yeah, I saw that.
He was
I
just,
thought it was
yeah,
a rock band guitar.
Yeah, no. He bought a real live guitar. Can't wait to hear what he does with that. I might show him a thing or two.
So the name of that song that he built without his guitar is called Without You. And that reminds me that without you, Alan Tran, Dyslexic in America, and all of you listening live in an archive, we would not be where we are today. So let me say thank you to you.
Yeah.
You know, it is Thursday, y'all, and that means
One more river to cross.
one more day until the weekend gets here. It's going to be awesome.
It is.
On today's show, we're going to talk about a number of stories, as you probably expected. We're going to start off with a story that we didn't get to yesterday, and that one is to ask the question, what is the right age to be on Facebook? The law says that age is 13, but we're getting a number of reports to the contrary. We'll talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about a new button that Google is rolling out across the web. It is infiltrating everything. We'll talk a little bit about that as well in this episode of Room 3026 Live. So, gentlemen, how do you guys feel today? What's going on with you? Derek, we'll start with you, man. What's happening?
A little hectic. Our bank transaction form got hacked, or there was some suspicious activity reported, so that's kind of kept me jumping for the past little while. Never a dull moment in this place, I tell you. But, yeah, other than that, the weekend looks really promising from here.
Mike Render, what's going on with you, man?
Still recovering.
Still?
Dude,
how many days has it been since then?
5.
Dude, you caught the real live super nasty.
I mean, I'm better, though. I mean,
You're not the only one, though. There
Yeah.
seems to be quite a few people that are out right now.
I know. I know. I was out for a couple of days last week, and I won't write for a couple of days before and after that.
Yeah.
Was that last week or the week before
last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's, I'm trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
March Madness today, so
Okay, so that means basketball.
yeah,
Mhm.
More basketball.
yeah. If you actually walk around the hallways and peek in some rooms, you can see.
People watching basketball.
Yeah,
See, posted.
but it's lunchtime, so if you do it
you
now,
see-
it's
yeah, you
okay.
see-
But
You see
any
posted
activity after that.
bracketologies and all that.
yeah,
Mm.
which I
Whereas-
did not participate in, but I'm still rooting for the Tar Heels.
Mm.
No way.
The Bearcats might do some things, and
Mhm.
then my Cinderella team, Baylor.
Mm.
I don't even know if they made it or not, but if they did, that's who I'm rooting for.
Okay.
Go Tar Heels, though.
Go Tar Heels.
Bearcats.
Go with the Duke.
No,
Duke.
Yeah.
they're too young.
I believe my team, the Pack, got in for the first time in about a generation.
Hey,
That would be the Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
they
Go
did
Pack.
they did some things this year, so
Man, that ACC tournament game. You saw my tweet. Harrison Barnes. That guy is a very, very talented actor. He had referees believing he got fouled a whole lot.
really.
Flippity floppy, flippity flop like a pancake, boy.
That's the first time a team got unneeded whistles before.
I wonder if he could play Margaret Thatcher as well as Meryl Streep did.
Imagine if he played for Duke and see how many calls he would have got.
Oh, listen to you.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
A Carolina fan talking about somebody getting calls. That just doesn't. No.
Are you serious? You act like that just happened.
Dude.
Like this is the first time it's happened.
That just a Carolina fan got no place in complaining about the calls.
Oh, gosh.
Look, wait, hold up. Michael Jordan, what college did he play for again? You know, that was the originator and the source of what they call the Jordan rules. If he ain't bleeding, you ain't fouling.
I'm just saying. Don't get mad. I mean,
Michael Jordan did, you know how he had like one foul in his whole career at that Carolina. If he didn't draw blood, it won't a foul.
When they meant they was thinking about it. You could see it.
Uh-huh.
They was going after the body and not the ball.
See. Oh, so they got mind readers now. Those guys that wear stripes.
Yeah. You see the Duke game.
Yeah,
you seen the Duke basketball game.
March Madness.
So there it is. March Madness, y'all.
And
if you guys don't know, I will say this about North Carolina. North Carolina is a basketball state. This is just my own observation.
No question, man.
From being here for the few years I've been here.
Some of the most
it
rabid
is
hoops
a
fans
basketball state.
Some of the most rabid college hoops fans on the face of the planet.
It's like they don't even care about football to some degree. It's like, dude, basketball is where it's at. It's like there's no other sport until basketball.
Yep.
Right.
Canes fans.
North Carolina.
Durham Bulls fans. Y'all all right, but it was basketball
season. This state comes alive.
Yeah, my cousin came in from New York. I remember about I don't know, gosh, going on 20 years ago now. He actually came here to Central, and we were talking. He said, "D, man, I love this place. They're like girls on street corners talking about hoops."
So anyway, if hopefully you guys are doing well. Let me say hi to those who are walking in right now. I see Aaron K. White. Our boy is in the house. What's going on, sir?
What's going on?
Get a chance to breathe a little bit after that huge release. Want to say welcome. I also want to say hi to Alan Tran again. I also want to say hi to Eileen Smith, who is in the room. What's going on, ma'am? And Tim Arthur just walked in as well. Thanks for joining us, you guys and lady.
I wonder if Peyton Manning's coming where Aaron K. White stays. I just wonder.
I don't know.
That is entirely possible. The ESPN RSS said they met for like 8 hours or something like that.
Scary.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim Tebow.
Well, let's move on to Feed Watch, shall we?
Yes.
This is for those of you that don't know, maybe you're a new listener. Feed Watch. It's where we go to
Feed Watch.
Hear the news
sporadically.
It's where we
semi-regularly.
Yeah.
It's constantly. We not constantly, but consistently. We
comb those blocks.
Yeah.
We give you the news that you can use because that's what we do.
It is. We're doing it right now.
So you best not snooze. You will not lose.
Don't lose.
Unless, of course, you just like singing the blues. Thank you very much.
Got a blog post. Want to read it? Here it go. Oh, no. That's blog roll. Sorry. Wrong one.
So yesterday I meant to get to this last story, and that was, what is the right age to be on Facebook? What is the right age? Now, according to, I think, the law for Facebook, the right age is 13 to join the network. Although I have seen quite a few people in my days use the service well under the age of 13. You just don't always know. But there was a survey that went out kind of asking the question, or it was a poll, and they asked 2,000 consumers on the opinion-based community of sodahead.com. And 34% of the respondents said that Facebook users should be at least the age of 13 to join. Okay, which is in line with the law that Facebook is being held to. However, most of the voters selected ages older than 13 as the minimum requirement for joining the service. 29% want ages 14 through 17 to be the earliest, and 19% said that they should be limited to those over the age of 18. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, you said how many people want under 13 to be able to get on the service, and you're talking about 13%, which is really the minority here out of all these different groups. Anyone under the age of 13, that would be 10 to 12, were acceptable. Now, 5% said that people joining between the ages of 7 and 9, and only 13, I guess that's the last one, only 5% said that 7 to 9. And so let me ask you guys, what do you guys think about this? Do you have a position on what you think the right age is for the use of Facebook?
I don't know that there is a solid number because, kids mature differently at different rates. I think parents can and should decide and oversee all that stuff.
Right.
With parental consent.
Maybe they just need a better way to sort of give parents control or some sort of oversight over this.
That's kind of
like you can't do it unless something happens. I don't know how you could block that.
That would be the tough thing. The enforcement. I mean, the enforcement of this thing is going to be tough no matter what is decided. But ideally, it seems to me that the parents would have everything to do with this.
So someone in the chat room, Aaron K. White says 16.
Yeah, you got to be big enough to see over the bar. Yes. Well done, sir. Well played.
Let's see, 18 to drink. So
16, 18 to drink.
Yeah.
Mike, 18 to come in, 21 to drink if you're, in North Carolina.
Mike, what about you? What do you think? What's the right age to join Facebook?
I mean, I look at it like as entertainment. So if kids are consuming mature video games with their, like how Derek said, with their parents' consent or however they're getting it, and they're probably 13, 14 years old, and you might as well keep Facebook the same way. It seems like kids lose their innocence as soon as they learn how to talk. So, I mean, I think that's just the time and age that we live in. So
I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, 13 just might as well.
Hmm.
I mean, 13 years, they've probably seen a lot at that age than we did or whatever. Dang, I sound like an old man, but
you do, by the way. Just wanted to throw
but
that
still,
in.
I mean,
God
like,
bless you.
Yeah.
like it's funny, like kids had I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 16, and I know kids is like 12, 11 years old walking around with a cell phone. So
cell phone. I had a pager.
I was gonna say I didn't get my first cell phone till I was like 30.
I didn't get a pager until I turned like 14. So.
Yeah, a pager. Like, you remember the old pagers?
Yes.
There was the first pager, like the black ones that you could see at the end, and then they got the side pagers that you could actually put messages on them.
Right,
them
two ways.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, we're moving up into a SkyTel.
Yep.
SkyTel, yes.
Yep, and you pay by character.
Right. Yeah, you had to be a baller then. And then we had I remember having a little gold chain that connected to my belt loop.
I had a bungee.
It was fun, a good time. But I don't think I got my first cell phone until, man, I must have been at least 2021.
See,
and I got it because I was working at a cell phone company, and I got it for free.
Because he won't try to pay it.
Exactly.
All right.
See, I learned this stuff early on. By the way, like if there's a way to get something for free, or at least in exchange for some kind of service, then I'm all for it. Just because, even though that service may be less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sort of like pimping myself, for something free. It's just it's the principality of it all.
Right. But
that
13,
I got it for free.
13.
Mm-hmm.
13 is the age for to consume any craziness.
But how do you control that?
So
So 13, 14, 12, 10, you could go to your friend's house, create an account, and boom, it's done.
I'm just hard pressed to think that there is any real live enforceable control in this current model of the open internet. I think that will probably change over time. In what ways, I think it's going to be hard to see. But yeah, the way it is now, nah. I think it's just something they're going to deal with. Something they're going to have to deal with, and parents too.
Aaron K. White says he almost spit out his coffee.
SkyTel. SkyTel.
Hey man, I'm bringing it back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's bring it back.
That was funny.
Motorola SkyTel.
All right. So let's move on to what's something that Google's doing. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. If you've been on the internet,
size taking over the world.
they are, and we definitely are helping them. But you may have noticed that there are some minor changes going on around the internet, especially as it pertains to this new Google +1 button. Have you guys noticed the new design that they're rolling out? It's not even it's not like just the +1 now. It almost like it puts the whole entire word Google, or at least G+1 in there, and it's like a little red and red color. As a matter of fact, you'll begin to see this in a number of places, and one of those places you can look forward to seeing this now is on the new YouTube page. Now, I went there earlier this morning trying to see this change, and I couldn't see it. It didn't roll out for me just yet. But according to this story from the Next Web, they're going to take away the little plus, rather, thumbs up, thumbs down buttons. They're going to remove those, the like, dislike button. They're going to remove that, and they're going to exchange it for what you should now begin to see, which is the giant G+1 button, which will basically replace all of those, or both of those.
I noticed that when I logged into the Room 26 live thing. Yep.
Right. Yeah, you did. You made a comment on that. Alan Tran says, I don't like the button. And I'm with you, man. I really don't like the new button. It looks cheap to me. I think I like the previous one better. Maybe it was the font or something. I don't like the way this looks.
I think this one stands out a little more than the other one. It was easy to overlook the other one.
If you scroll up, now I'm going to look on, and I think I'm looking on his screen.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
That one's just as easy to overlook, if not more so. But it's pretty small.
Yeah, I don't like that style. And for those of you that don't see it, it's a small button. It has a G+1 in red,
and the G is slightly out of the frame.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, I like the idea, but
looks cheap.
Yeah,
it doesn't look dominant when you compare this to like the like button.
If you look at that, tweet.
The tweet button.
I have to hand it to you. It is a little more, and it's a heck of a lot more distinctive. It
just needs like a bright red button with maybe a white G or something.
I think
this
button,
G+1.
If you look closely, this button is by far smaller than any of the other buttons on this share with your preferred social.
I do agree.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really like it.
Let's see what happens.
I don't like it.
I'll bet you money they'll make the Joker bigger.
Little Bites agrees and says, "Yeah, I like the older one better too." And Eileen says, "Alan, I don't even like the old one either. I don't like any of them. I don't care. It's just G+. The buttons suck.
Like them better than Facebook. There we go. Settled."
Yeah. But anyway, if you are on YouTube, you can look forward to seeing, hopefully, according to this latest information that we have, you should begin to start seeing the like, dislike, thumbs up, down going away and being replaced by the new G+1. This, of course, will be on every single YouTube video that they have out there. And one of the questions that people are asking right now is, well, why is this integration happening right now with G+? Like, why is this button going everywhere? Well, there's a couple people who are basically saying, this very move that Facebook is doing right now with adding all this G+ button and all this stuff all the way across the web.
You mean Google? You said Facebook.
Okay, I meant Google. Yeah, thanks.
Just checking.
Yeah, no, you got me right. Google+. The reason why they said they're doing this is that it's not a Facebook competitor. There was not meant to be a Facebook competitor. In fact, what this is that they are just, according to this author, just being ubiquitous with their services, making it function as sort of behind-the-scenes tool more so than a particular network. And I remember reading somebody saying that Google Plus was never supposed to be a network. I don't know who wrote that article, but they said, "Hey, dude, Google Plus is not a network. It's not a social network." Of course, I don't remember seeing what he said it was, but he said it wasn't a network.
What is it then?
Yeah.
It's a place.
It's not. Alan Trans from the chat room says it's harder to see how many people +1 on the new one. Mm-hmm. Like I have no way of noticing.
Marianne says I think it was bolder and looked more googly.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It still has the count if you're showing it as Aaron K. White has to say. Sure.
So if I click, if you go back up and click, and from the chat room it says I can't see the count. So if you click,
there's a count right
you
there.
can see it. Yeah.
You can see
in that case,
right
you can see it.
Again, it looks just like the tweet one button over with the count in the little cartoon balloon, except for it's smaller.
Right.
You got to squint unless you're. I'll bet you anything it'll. You'll see that Joker getting bigger real soon.
Yeah, because people are gonna start complaining.
Yeah.
Ego Ant, Aaron Clifford, our brother from the north. Welcome to the show, sir.
Canada. Oh.
He says it's not a social network; it's a lifestyle. Hey, man, good point.
Indeed.
So anyway, welcome. Okay, so we're going to take a break. We're going to go and take a picture. We call this Daily Booth. But after the break, we will talk about this new video, this new documentary that's coming out about the Obama administration. Maybe you've heard about it.
Sure have.
We're going to talk a little bit about what that is and what you can expect to see. We'll also talk about this new Foursquare and Facebook integration that has rolled out, and you get more details on that. But for now, let's go ahead and jump in to Daily Booth. So this means pull out your camera.
What it look like? What are you wearing?
All right. Daily Booth is where we go to take pictures. It is, in fact, a free website, and you know me and free. You can go there right now. It's www.dailybooth.com. You can use your webcam, you can use your cell phone, or you can just upload a picture, or whatever is easiest for you. And once you do, you can share that picture with us right here in the chat room. And we'll take a look at it. Also, if you are listening via, let's say, a cell phone or from offline, you're listening to an archived show, don't worry about it, because you can always join us, after the fact.
Yeah, sure.
Just go to dailybooth.com/Damon Nolan. You can see me there, follow me, and all of our friends who are on the show are also, I'm following them. You can jump on board and follow them too.
Once you upload the picture, we'll see it and we'll
follow you back.
We'll give you the shout out on the next show.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
All right, so I see Mike Render has just taken a picture. While we were talking, he was pulling out his iPhone.
We were posing and talking at the same time.
That's right.
Multitasking. That's skilled, Eric.
It's gotten easier just to kind of say that because I don't even think about it anymore. It just comes out.
Mm-hmm. What?
It just comes. Wait. Okay, hold on. Mike, I don't know what you just said, but I know whatever you thought is wrong. Tim Arthur throws his picture up. Let's take a look at what he has. He says, "Hey everyone, happy Thursday." And that's not. I don't know. He may not have said it like that, but the way his hand is, it's kind of like, "Hey guys, hey,
y'all are wrong.
It's Thursday." Hey guys.
Well, he's getting ready to issue the smackdown.
Oh, I guess if that's the case, where's my powder at, punk?
There we go.
I'm going to give you a face smash. What's up, bro?
Oh, yeah, that could be the high five.
Hey.
He can
high five.
Y'all are wrong.
What?
Y'all are
face
wrong.
Smash. Hulk smash.
Yeah, I posted mine, but you got to log in.
I got to go in there.
I don't remember my password on this Joker.
That's a shame. Miss Eileen takes a picture as well, and her 74th Daily Booth.
And it showed up in the bottom in the live feed.
And yeah, there it is. Hello, Miss Eileen. You got nice little curls going on in the front. That's nice.
Good job.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. Some people just they just take good pictures. Mm-hmm. Some of us we don't. There's a reason why every time I take a picture, I would say, "Well, how come you want to get in front of the camera?" No, I don't want to get in front of the camera. No, I do not.
Well, she's very.
Like I remember in high school, I had this, or was it middle school? I had a teacher, or was it elementary school? I couldn't remember which. It was. I was in school, and there was a teacher who would never take their picture, and we all kept saying she must be a witch, because according to this saying, is that if you are a witch, and she was a good witch, she was a white witch, and I don't mean white as in like
what do you mean
white and black?
See, why's got to be like that?
Because it was like the good witchery and the bad witchery. She was a white witch, right? And some said that if you took your picture, it would steal your soul.
Okay.
Or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. So I just recall. So it's not for that reason that I don't take pictures. It's just that every time I take a picture, I look like hot mess. You got like this T-zone like greasy forehead and my hair sticks out, or it's just something. My double chin comes through. I just, you don't know about T-zones? What? Come on, Mike. Say you know something about T-zones, man.
This is news.
Okay.
No, it's a T-zone.
Never mind.
Never
mind.
Like you're teasing somebody?
No.
You're getting his T-zone.
No, not. No,
Uh-huh.
not T-zone like that. T-zone. Look in your face, right? Some people have a T, which is their forehead and their nose, the top of their nose. It gets greasy looking.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Oh, that's the T-zone?
That's the T-zone. Yeah, not that I wear makeup or anything, but I just know my grease spots. And if you wear and if you have like a Jericho juice in your hair, it gets really bad on your T-zone.
I can see that.
You see?
I don't.
Okay.
I've never experienced.
You've never experienced the T-zone? So you're saying you have no facial? Did you ever have zits or pimples or anything like that when you were younger?
No, not really.
See, there you go. That's the reason why we are where we are, because I did. Okay, I had pimples on my forehead, and it wasn't because I had Jericho juice on my head. It's just I just was sensitive. Sensitive. All right.
T-zones and sensitivity.
Sensitivity. All right. I meant to look at Aaron's Instagram picture, wherever that might be. Hold on. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me get this.
What?
They're talking so fast, I can't get it. Something about, what do you do to keep your hair back at night? What? What are you talking about? Oh, there we go. So Aaron K. White has some really extremely long hair, and you can see in this latest Instagram picture, this dude has seriously long hair.
Is that a scrunchie?
That's
looks like a rubber band or something.
That's plaits, man.
Right?
Plaits?
A plait. What is a plait?
A platypus.
Isn't a plait like
a braid? It is a braid.
That's not a braid.
That's a
That's just he has like a rubber band or something in his hair.
scrunch.
A scrunch? No, a scrunch goes in like a ponytail.
No, but I just thought the actual thing that went on the hair was the scrunchie. Right? No? Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, and Eileen says, Aaron, Instagram is no fair. You can't keep putting on them little flashy little filters on top to make yourself look better. See, that's not right.
See, I think that's.
But we might have to switch it up. But we might have to switch it up though, because we're getting less than no love with Daily Booth. We have to go to Instagram booth.
See, the thing is, we should
once they get it to Android.
Well,
then we all can play. Well, except for everyone on BlackBerry, because then you can't play.
Well, you don't get to.
All right. All right. So let's.
It seems like you should easily be able to build an app that'll sync those guys up. You can send all your Instagram stuff.
You can always write
the
one.
other way around.
Yeah. And if you got any time left over.
Time. I love the idea.
All right. So let's move on to the next story. So here we go. So there's a new documentary that's coming out today. It is a documentary on the Obama administration. This one comes from the New York Times in their technology department. But there's a new YouTube video that they'll be dropping, and it talks about basically how they want to use this platform to really expand what they're doing. And so there is going to be a 17-minute documentary that launches today. Tom Hanks is going to be narrating this video.
I have seen a
clip of that.
Yeah, I have seen a preview.
Let me see if I can find one real quick, and we can maybe play a little bit. There is the name of the documentary is called "The Road We've Traveled," and it's set to go online tonight. Let me see if I can find. Maybe they have a clip or something.
This is like on a television show.
Oh, here we go. I think I found one. Here's a trailer. I'll play a little bit of it.
How do we understand this president and his time in office?
Because you never know if it's a fake one or a real one or something.
Do we look at the day's headlines?
Trying to hate.
Or do we remember what we, as a country, have been through?
Well, that is Tom Hanks.
The president-elect is here in Chicago, and he's named the members of the economic team, and they all fly in for the first big briefing on the economy.
What was described in that meeting was an economic crisis beyond anything anybody had imagined.
Yeah, this is the
Our time of standing pat of protecting narrow interests and putting off unpleasant decisions. That time has surely passed.
His advisors would ask where to begin. Which urgent need would he put first?
Which is 1, which is 2, which is 3, which is 4, which is 5.
All right. Well, anyway, so it's about a 2-minute. I'll share the URL with you guys, but it's about a 2-minute long
Nice fade out.
trailer that talks about this upcoming documentary. And let me give you a couple of those particulars about it. It is, like I said, it has Tom Hanks in it. It also is directed by Davis Gunningham, who is the Oscar-winning director who filmed Waiting for Superman and An Inconvenient Truth, both of which I saw.
I have not seen An Inconvenient Truth yet.
Yeah.
One of those things I've been meaning to get to, just never got around to it.
Now, as if there's no surprise, is anything that Obama, his team is doing, his Obama for election or Obama for America, Obama for president team. What they are doing is they're going to be using this platform. It's going to be powered by YouTube, but it's going to be a platform that he's going to use to raise money and also get on the ground help, which is pretty much what he does with anything, right?
Yep.
Anything he puts out there, he says, "Hey, get involved, donate to the cause, whatever the case may be."
Awesome.
So I'm gonna drop this in there.
Drop the URL.
Yeah, here it goes. I'm gonna drop this URL in there, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Now, of course, Obama is not the only one that's using technology. For this.
Newt Gingrich dropped a pile of money from this guy named Sheldon Adelson, a Las Vegas casino mogul, who is basically single-handedly still financing his campaign for this movie called When Mitt Romney Came to Town. Do yourself a favor, YouTube it. It's actually it's similar kind of thing. It's like 17 minutes long and talks about his time at Bain Capital and all that stuff. Yeah, and that was a couple of months ago.
So what are your thoughts then about what Obama's team is doing using and again, it's not just Obama. I mean, Mitt Romney also is using some video in addition to these tools, this social media tools extend these videos to make them somewhat viral.
And yeah, Ron Paul's people they're nuts about this kind of thing. If Ron Paul channel on YouTube just blows up and everybody they're absolutely nuts about him. He has some of the most dedicated followers. They border on fanboys over there.
Mike, what do you think? And one thing I do want to point out as you put together your 2 cents on that is that we've seen Coney 2012 do something very similar to this, right? And this is a longer form video. This is not a 30-second, television spot. This is a 17-minute documentary on the man. And
I would call it
a longer form video.
Yeah, I would call it very much like the When Mitt Romney Came to Town. It's very much like a political infomercial. I think that's a reasonable description.
Right.
Yeah, I was just about to say something similar to that. Like it's for the time period, elections jumping off. It's just an easier way to inform people who these candidates are and.
But over television commercials, over like 30-second, 60-second television commercials, we're talking about, what did we find out the other day? We did that report. People said the average time, I think, was less than 5 minutes. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. It was a very short period of time that we were willing to sit here and watch these videos.
People typically don't. And, well, the other thing is, if you were paying attention to the Republican primaries in Alabama and Mississippi, Mitt Romney outspent his opponents 15-1. 15-1 and still lost.
Mm-hmm.
As far as television advertising. So I think television, especially as it comes to political ads and that one-way megaphone to whosoever will hear, that model it's losing credibility. For one thing, these Romney didn't spend any of his own money. A lot of this was super PACs, and again another handful of multi-gazillionaires, basically just carpet bombing the airways, buying all the available time, so that even the opponents, even if they could raise the money, couldn't do it. And people, I think we're coming to a place where there's a backlash for stuff like that. And maybe the internet is allowing those candidates with less money to just produce that video, and it's becoming more of a level playing field. Mm-hmm. It's a democratizing effect, I think, maybe if we're lucky.
So anyway, good stuff. So let me quickly say, I see from the chat room, Tim Arthur just said, "Yo, I just sold a seat."
A seat?
Yeah. Well, one of the things, and I didn't add it here, and I guess I should have now that I think about it, is an announcement. But Tim Arthur, our very own Tim Arthur, King Tim Bada Pim.
What up, Slim?
He has his podcasting tutor website, right? And he is now offering I think it's 90-minute session. I think it's an hour-long session maybe with an additional question and answer period. He's doing a webinar. He's going to talk about how to do hosting to get your domain name and install WordPress and get a website all in the course of a session. He's going to do it for 10 seats. There's 10 people that can jump on board. You can go over there and support him. He has like I said, 10 seats, and it is kind of his first. It's kind of his first, official jump off into this new space, and we definitely want to support him. If you want to drop that URL, Tim, that you are sharing, I want to make sure that everybody sees this. But Tim is he's beginning to mature and grow right before our eyes.
Oh,
right. And so he's, like I say, he's having a webinar. I think it's on March 22nd. It's going to run about an hour, and there'll be some question and answer period, and you can get in there. And by the time you leave this session, you're going to have a completed website, or at least you'll have a website that you can begin to really dig deep into. So you'll have a domain name, a website, and hosting, and all the above. So go check that out.
Awesome.
But I want to move on to Foursquare for a moment. I want to talk about this new relationship between Foursquare and Facebook. Coming from Mashable.com, Foursquare just launched a new Facebook integration feature. And for those of you who are still using Foursquare, and I am not using it as much as I probably should, or probably would like to, but for those of you who are checking in pretty religiously, you can now connect it with Facebook, which you've been able to do for quite some time. That's nothing new. But what you will see is that the user interface that shows up on your timeline looks just a little bit different. According to the project manager for Foursquare, Noah Weiss, he says Foursquare has obviously already been on Facebook for a while, but what it does with this new update is it adds structure. So one of the things you can see here is as you check in, it gives you sort of a multi-view. It tells you, hey, these are the last places where Derek checked in or Mike checked in, and here is a map version of where he is and those friends that are around him. It counts how many check-ins that you've had, and it gives you a lot of detail right here on this one page. So as you check in, it just kind of continues to update. And I'm gonna send you guys a link real quick, and I want you guys to see for yourself what it does. And I want to get your opinion on what you think. Is this a move that would that moves you somehow? What do you think about the changes? Here's the link. I put it in the chat room. But I want to get your thoughts on that. Now, as you look at this, you'll notice that across the top of it has basically your stats, where you've been. Looks like the last 4 or 5 items of where you've been recently. It also shows the last award that you received. If you want to click that link there, you can let Mike see that. You can also see the total check-ins. You can see the last places.
I was in the chat room.
The top places. And you can also, and then they also have pictures. So if you take pictures using Foursquare, then once it comes back into Facebook, and as you scroll down the page, and you see that G+ button everywhere now.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All them sharing things. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So as you scroll, so that's what's going to show up in your Facebook timeline. And it's not short either, by the way. It's kind of a long thing, but you'll see how they handle pictures. It's kind of like how they normally handle Facebook pictures now. Like if you add a bunch of pictures into the gallery, it kind of does this nice little,
collage.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Sure. Yeah.
So, what first thoughts? What do you think, Mike?
It looked cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not a Foursquare kind of guy.
Foursquare.
Don't be tracking me. I don't like it. I don't like the idea. It's just a matter of GP. And again, as we frequently say, I think it's probably more of a generational thing than anything. So I'm just not. I usually disable the location devices unless I'm trying to find directions to someplace I want to go. I just don't play that way.
Don't play.
At least not yet.
A Little Bite says in the chat room, I noticed that I noticed it the last time I checked in. I like having them grouped together like that. She says, and Spotify does that as well. So if you are a Spotify user, it does a great job of kind of grouping all the last songs that you've listened to, and I like that. I mean, it at least makes it easier to kind of follow what people are doing.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
The idea that songs are grouped in some logical, reasonable way. That's kind of cool.
There was another service. If I go over there's another service that's kind of doing that as well.
Because my tags make my tags they make no sense whatsoever. It has everything to do with whatever mood I was in at the time that I made the tag. I'm stupid, man.
Let's see here. Pinterest. That's the other one. Pinterest does something very similar to that. I'm looking right now. It says here are the last ones that I've commented on, pinned, liked, whatever. It also gives a view of my boards and the pinners that I'm following now. So that's kind of new. And also, again, for Spotify, it does something very similar. I think that's interesting. The new friends that I'm following. Yeah, I guess I never really noticed that. You know, there's no real rhyme or reason, though, as I look at this. Like, when does the Pinterest section show up and when does Foursquare show up? Because that's not entirely clear to me. And that's one thing I don't like about the timeline is that it's not always in the same spot.
Right.
You know, sometimes you'll come in and you'll be able to see, oh, there's my Spotify. The next time, or an update, there's my update, and I know where to find it. And the next time you come in, you can't find it anymore. I'm like, what happened to it? I thought it was right here. Little Bites also says Get Glue does that as well. That's one of those ones I don't use very often.
I never understood why the timeline has
Miko
two
Miso.
columns. Like, it should just be like your wall with the features of the timeline.
Yeah.
Whackness.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't like that how it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Or like if you have like your updates on one side and then you have like your timeline, you know, Spotify apps update on the right.
Yeah.
That might make more sense because it's just like trying to find this stuff is not very easy.
Yeah, I really go to my own.
Like I don't even like going to my own. Like I just go to the Facebook front page and just like, okay, what's the feed saying? What's the wall saying? So anyway, that's the new update for Foursquare and Facebook. So you can look forward to that. We're gonna take another break. We're gonna do Blog Roll right now, but on the other side of this, we're gonna take a look at some new information on Apple and its latest share price and what this may mean for Damon Nolan buying an iPhone.
You hear that?
Do you feel like did you feel a little chill on the soles of your? You know what that is? That's hell freezing over right there.
You should get an iPad 3 before you get an iPhone.
Ain't gonna happen.
Roll in with your posters. What it look like? What are you writing?
Blog Roll is when we take a look at what you're writing, what you're putting out there into the blogosphere. If you're writing, if you're blogging somewhere and I'm not talking about it, that means I'm probably not following it nor reading it. So make sure that I get it. Send it to me at damonnolan@gmail.com. And
Post
we'll
us up with the information on your post.
That's right. We'll talk about it on the air.
We'll do it. What we do.
It's what we do, baby.
I mean, well, along with the
other stuff
that you can
we
use.
do
Sure.
and stuff. We're going to go back to our girl, Miss Eileen Smith's blog. It's called basicblogtips.com. That's basicblogtips.com.
Vigilant.
Yes. This one is written by a guest poster, a guest writer, a guest blogger, Vivek Krishnan. I don't know. I don't know where they actually came from. It just sounded like it was fitting.
What?
But Vivek writes how to create an impressive brand image around your blog. How are you doing that? Definitely is the question. One of the things that I took away from this story clearly is that there are places and things that you can do to sort of build your brand image, right? One of the things that he wrote, there was actually two things now that I think about it. One of the things that I walked away with from this is to say you are in control of what your brand looks like. You can do this. One way is by talking about the blog, or in this case, maybe yourself or your company, on the About Us page. This is where you get to outline all your achievements. This is where you get to outline who you are and what you believe in. The other thing that I kind of walked away with was this idea of a niche. I mean, nobody or no one company is good at every single thing.
Oops.
Right? So you kind of need to decide, and to some degree, what is going to be your niche. And there are a number of examples that came out in this article, where certain people, like Mashable is all about social networks or social media, right? It's kind of like his strong point. And I think in everybody, in some way, shape, or form, there's a strong point about their brand. And the idea is to sell that brand. I want you guys to support this. Go over here to basicblogtips.com. I'm going to share the URL with you in the chat room. But make sure you stop in there and say hi, leave a comment, let them know that you are a Room 3026 Live listener and that we support our own, for sure. And if you haven't already, go ahead and follow Basic Blog Tips. You can hit the RSS feed and subscribe to it. We're going to also, I'll share with you another blog post I wrote, I think late last night. This one really is kind of to continue with my history of the fraternity and obviously trying to write this dissertation via the blogs. It's called Kappa Alpha Psi Celebrates Silver Anniversary with a Rededication to Objectives. Just, a very short snippet, just a little bit. Wiggle it, just a little bit. Digga-digga-doo. Yeah. I'm sorry. But if you're listening on an archive show or via the telephone or whatever, you go to DamonNolan.com, better yet, www.DamonNolan.com to get this story and all the others. But for those of you in the chat room, I'll share that with you. Now, I do want to talk just a moment about this other one. It's called How Do You Increase Loyal Listeners to Your Podcast? And I wrote this one because I was thinking about you guys, those of you who are here right now. And one of the things that's on this whiteboard behind me that Mike and I were planning on playing with after the show was this. We kind of recognize that there are like three levels of listeners, right? There are those who are core listeners, which we really thought about you guys. Like, the core listeners are the ones who are like there like daily.
I mean, if you're hearing this conversation, chances are
you're probably a core listener, right? Like if this is your first time, then you're probably, you're probably one of our other listeners, like which we call the casual listeners, right? Which is the second ring outside of the core. And really all it means is that there are those who are potential listeners, those who are casual listeners. They kind of come and go, as it is available to them or as it's comfortable for their time schedule or whatever. And that's cool. And then we have our core. And the thing I love about the core, and this is, I'm thinking about you guys when I wrote this. I'm thinking about you and how you guys, and we've talked about this, on Facebook and whatnot, but there were some comments yesterday. I think just as we were leaving the show, there was a comment about, I love the chat room as a really, dynamic place to kind of engage in this, that, and the other. And it got me thinking like, dude, we got some outstanding, folks that are here consistently, regularly. And I love it. But but my question was, what did we do right with these folks that we can continue to do to encourage others to kind of come and be and remain core listeners, right? How do you do that? And that was kind of the question and where this was going. So as I was going down to the end and really thinking, and Ego Ant says, I consider myself more of a troll listener, really. Yeah. That's kind of what I think of.
Yeah, right.
Right? But as I was thinking about that, I kept saying, we did something right with these core groups. These are the people that influence us. You guys are the ones that kind of get us to adopt certain changes one way or the other, right? We're going to go to you guys first because, you're there. And the thing I noticed too is that there is a relationship amongst you guys. You know, you guys are friends. At least it appears to be as such. You know, we'll talk outside of the chat room. You know, we'll see each other on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and we kind of just hang out or say what's up, and we support each other. And I really love that. And I think about how we can continue to kind of expand on that so that, you know, you continue to get the love that you deserve and the support that you deserve.
Yes.
But we can also open it up a little bit to some of these folks who are more of the casual listeners. So that's really where it came from. And I thought about you, and so I just wanted you to know how much I appreciate you, and I know the rest of the guys do too, right? They're tearing up right now as we talk about this.
Violins.
So I just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate you. And Minu Nyanda just entered the room. What's going on, sir? Thanks for joining us. So anyway, that's that one, and I'll share that URL with you as well. But again, you can go to DamonNolan.com and get that in its entirety. And that's called How Do You Increase Loyal Listeners to Your Podcast? ? And then lastly, I want to give a shout out to Vincent Davis, who wrote this last story. It's called Working in Your Strengths, Dollars and Cents. This is a part of his Dollar and Cents series, where he is looking at his personal finances, but in doing so, he also has a message, you know, just a personal message, things that you can do to strengthen your life in other areas as well. And I'll share that URL with you. That is from his blog, littlesonproductions81.wordpress.com. That's that. And I'll share that with you right now. Okay. So we are coming to the last story of the day. And for those of you who are, let's say, Apple fans, this may be really good news for you. And those of you who are not so much Apple fans, there is a truth in this that cannot be denied. And as unfortunate as I would like to make this story, it is really a positive thing for the company. But here's the story. Coming from the Next Web, Apple's share has just broke the $600 range.
Per
for
share?
The first time in its history.
Per share?
Yes.
$6?
600
Great.
smackaroos. Yes. As a matter of fact, this morning, and now to be more specific about this morning, before the bell even rung, the pre-open or pre-market trading, it was at $600.01. However, once the bell actually rung, it dropped back down to $599.82. And at the time that this particular article was written, it went down a little bit further, down to $595.72 per share. But here's where I think it's interesting, because it only took, according to this, 23 days to rise from $500 to $600. And it only took 34 days to go from $400 to $500. Now, I can see those little tickers going right now, and you're like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. But according to some Apple investors, people who are probably fanboys of Apple or fangirls of Apple, say that this number, even at $600, is still very much an underestimated number. As a matter of fact, Morgan Stanley raised the price by 40%, the target price that is, by 40%, to say, I can see this going from $515 up to $720 per share.
It's crazy.
And you can really bank a lot of this on what they're saying, the new iPad, which is going to release tomorrow, the new Mac, which is a rumored new Mac, and an iPhone product that is also in the work. So let me turn to you guys real quick, and I see Minu from the chat room says it's guy love between two guys.
Yeah.
And so let me talk to Mike, one of those Apple guy love folks. There's a number of them here in the room. There's Tim Arthur, and there's Michael Render, and then there's Aaron K. White. These are all guy love. They love what they love. But let me ask you, what do you think about these the change? $600 and potentially up to $720 by the end of this run.
There has got to be, and every time we talk about this, there's got to be a time where the world is saying, okay, that's enough. I've got all the cell phone, the pad, the tablet I need, and the next round of updates, I think they're going to be very much like Mike. Yeah, that's enough. I'm good, thanks. I think this one's going to be the one for Apple. I think they're putting way too many eggs in this basket. We'll see. But
For the iPad?
I think it's just a matter of time, man. Everybody that wants one has one.
Not with HD.
Well, Tim doesn't have the new one.
But that's what I'm saying.
got the one he needs.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There, a lot of times the people that buy the old ones, that buy the new ones, are those that already had the old ones. I just don't see how much longer you can sustain that kind growth based on that. If you're with the development cycle that fast, you can't do this every 6 months and expect one or two more features to inspire them that already have the previous one to buy the same thing again, and I just have a hard time seeing how that's sustainable.
Well, one of the things I read today, and I passed this on to Tim, and I did it sort of as a joke, but there's a story that's out today that basically says if you have an iPad 1, an iPad 2, you can actually trade it in for credit. An Apple Store credit, which you can then use to buy your new one.
Really?
Yes.
And I could buy a cheap one. No, I'm joking.
Well, so I'm looking at, I think it was the iPad 2, for example. If you have an iPad 2 that's in really good condition, let's say, isn't tore up by your dog or whatever, the battery still works and things like that, you can get up to about $170 in credit.
That's it?
Well, considering it's used, but that's in good condition. And again, I don't know what the sliding scale is on this.
It was excellent. Like
probably $170.
Like you bought it a month ago because you didn't know the iPad 3 was coming out.
Right. Well, so let's assume that let's go ahead and call that $200 just for math's sake, right? So you buy an iPad for $500, right? You use the credit that you used for your iPad 2, for example, where you get $200. And now you're only paying $300 for a brand spanking new iPad 3 HD.
Man,
is that worth it?
A month ago, and it's excellent condition. I need to get at least $250 for it. If you're selling them in the store for $399.
Well, again, I don't know what the sliding scale is, but my point in saying that was this, though, is that this is probably how Apple is saying, look, we know you want the new one. And
let me help you.
That's why I sent it to Tim first, because I was like, I know Tim wants the new one. He just doesn't want to have to pay for that,
Duh.
Yeah. So if he can get a relatively new one, maybe take the iPad 1 and the iPad 2, or give the iPad 2 to his kid, or whatever the case may be, he could get a new one.
It's possible.
Yeah,
he could get a new one for $699.
I guess the iPad 2 could go to his wife, right, and then he can get the iPad 3. That might be a good way to handle it. And then the iPad 1 can be on sale.
He's gonna do it.
I'm gonna tell the wife.
He's gonna do it.
I'm gonna leak this story to your wife on accident.
He's gonna do it. All you gotta do is cut it up.
She's gonna say, "Baby."
You just cut it up and put it on the high fidelity replay and send an anonymous email, and it's done.
Yeah. So
he's gonna do it.
So $600.
That's not worth it
per share of Apple. I mean, this makes
How
Apple
many iPads can you get per share?
the largest and most wealthiest technology company out there right now.
Yeah, it could,
very powerful company.
90
It reasonably
seconds.
could be in the history of humanity.
That's incredible.
I sound confused.
It's incredible to me.
It was quite the.
Or shocked.
So I don't know, but that's the story of the day. Let me play this. Let me first of all say thank you to you. I know Aaron K. White just walked out of the room. Let me say thank you to Aaron K. White. Let me also say thank you to Alan Tran.
Thank y'all.
DB Funky, Dyslexic in America. That's Leon Lewis. We also got Eagle Ant. That's Aaron Clifford. Eileen Smith. Little Bites. That's Marianne. Minu Yonda. Thank you for joining us. Tim Arthur and all of you listening live in an archive. Thank you very, very much for your ongoing support. We do appreciate it. Don't forget, we are here every Monday through Friday. Yes, Tim, we are. Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on blogtalkradio.com/Damon Nolan. Also, you can get the higher quality audio over there at youtube.com/Damon Nolan. And you can even use the new Google Plus button to like it. Anyways, we're going to do it for us, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, Mike Render. Deuces.
Get back to work.
Ten seconds.